that even when it was quite plain that things would be better if they changed, most people still wanted them to stay exactly the same. Volume 6, pages 3,727 to 4,463. Both 3,727 and 4,463 were prime numbers. Oskar liked odd numbers better than even ones, and primes most of all, because each one had its own special shape. He slid the book from the shelf. It was new, the spine stiff, and the gold very gold. At home, the books were all battered, and when you opened them, the pages fell out, or letters or scraps of paper covered in Mother's handwriting. She was always putting letters and lists in books to mark her place and forgetting all about them. Once, Oskar had found a telegram announcing the birth of Jessica Margaret Crumpton Melville, stop. Another time, a French train ticket from before he was born. The books in the Melvilles' huge library did not look like anyone had ever read them at all. Carefully, he opened the book. When he was small, he had asked his mother if Sir Aubrey had read all the books in his library, and his mother had laughed and said that not even Sir Aubrey could love Ellinghurst as much as that. She said that according to the estate records, most of the books had been purchased by the yard, like silk for curtains, boxes and boxes just to cover the shelves, but that some had been chosen specially by Sir Jeremiah, who was Sir Aubrey's great-great-grandfather. "What else explains so much, Scott?" she said, and she smiled so that Oskar knew it was a joke, even though he did not understand it. He often did not understand the things his mother said, but he knew better than to ask her to explain, because mostly the explanations were not very interesting. He was interested in Sir Jeremiah, though. It was Sir Jeremiah who had turned Ellinghurst from an ordinary manor house into a medieval castle, and built castellations and turrets, and a moat with a bridge, and a huge arched gatehouse, with machicolations and a portcullis, and a lookout tower with a hole for boiling oil. Oskar's mother had told Oskar that Sir Jeremiah had been an admirer of Richard the Lionheart, and, like the great Crusader king, believed in gallantry and chivalry, and the unrelenting plunder of the people for profit. She said that if your concern for the tenants on your land extended only as far as their potential capital yield, it was probably prudent to have a portcullis, just in case. "No little lily-handed baronet he," Oskar's mother said, and Oskar knew from the way that she said it that the words came from a poem. Oskar's mother loved poems. She said that poems could be just as beautiful as mathematical equations, but Oskar knew that she only thought that because she did not really understand mathematics. The first thing in Volume 6 was a shiny color plate of the solar system, the planets suspended in their orbits like swirly glass marbles. Oskar knew about the solar system. He knew that the rings of Saturn were made up of small particles of ice and rock, and that Jupiter was 2.5 times the mass of all the other planets put together, with its largest satellite, Ganymede, bigger even than Mercury. He knew that, from where he was on Earth, the sun was 93 million miles away. It puzzled him when other people remarked to his mother on how clever he was to remember so many things. Facts were like books or socks. If you put them back in the same place, you always knew where they were when you needed them. Opposite the picture of the solar system was a list of all the things in Volume 6. Oskar ran his finger down the list until it came to the Book of Wonder. Oskar wondered what the Book of Wonder was, and if that was why it was called that, because it made you wonder. His mother said that words were like chemistry, because each one reacted with the one next to it to make something new. But Oskar just found them confusing. He nearly put the book back on the shelf. Then he saw that beneath the Book of Wonder